You start?
You want me to?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wing this. Alright guys, if you are seeing this video and you're new subscribers, we really appreciate you guys joining the channel. My name is Maddie, this is Nick, and we've got Hustlin' Horsepower. So we kind of just wanted to do a little introduction video, I guess, to tell you some of our backstory and what we've been through the past couple months, I suppose. Essentially, we've lost 2 cars, basically within a year time span, so we were going to talk about that.
A little over a year.
A little over a year.
16 months or something like that. Sorry guys, I'll get myself a little bit of a snack right now.
Why don't we wait?
No, we could do this.
Okay.
I work like an idiot, so I'm trying to get a little bit of a snack in while we're doing this video. Because I got a whole lot of work to do in the next...
couple days.
Yeah, couple days.
Alright, so you started building the Dirty 30. It was like the beginning of when we started dating, which was like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And...
we had a whole lot of fun with that car. That car was cool.
Yeah, we had that car up until May of last year, 2020.
Yep.
And we traveled all over the place with that car. We did, what was up in Michigan? Roadkill Nights up in Michigan.
Yeah, we did Roadkill Nights. We filmed for Street Outlaws. We did Drag Week with that car. Hot Rod Magazine's Drag Week.
2 years.
Car was in a couple magazines and stuff like that. That car was cool.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that car was, like, it was legit. I pulled that thing out of a barn. It's had in a barn since 1956. And we turned that into a pretty cool street strip car. It was a twin turbo big block Chevy, like what was in the 33, the Homegrown Hustler. And we went 820s at 170 on just 93 octane. And that thing had legit a 1930 frame under it. I did a 25.3 chassis for that. Cal tracks, leaf spring with Cal tracks, drop axle up front, 4-door, 4-seater, factory floor. It was a legit 1930 Plymouth used sedan, like everything, factory in it. I think it was cool. But yeah, we lost that car May of
2020.
Yeah, May of 2020, I guess that'd be. And then yeah, that one sucked. I got burnt up pretty bad. My hands and stuff like that. We didn't go into video in detail about all that because I don't know, people don't need to see that stuff. But I legitimately sat at my kitchen table with scissors and tweezers and peeled off all the skin off my hands. And it took me, what, 3 or 4 days to accomplish that task because that freaking hurt. And then I couldn't do much for a couple months just because, like, they were bad. And then plus financially we couldn't start on a new project right away. We went and picked up a different body like 2 months after the accident, a month after the accident, 2 months after the accident, something like that. The 33 body. And then
And frame.
Yeah, the whole car. And then I knocked that car out in 5 months. And
we went up to South Dakota, Minnesota to get that.
Yeah, North Dakota.
Oh yeah, North Dakota, Minnesota border to get that.
Yep. Just outside of Fargo. And we made a hell of a trip out of it. That was fun. There's a video. There's a video on that. We went kayaking with Sexy Rexy in the front. And yeah. That was a we made make the best of it, right? Like when life throws you curveballs or this or that and so on and so forth, you just kind of got to go for it. Just pick up the pieces and keep on going. And
so you built that car in about 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
What was the chassis on, or like it's a factory frame, but what was the cage? Basically the same.
Yeah, it's another basically a 25.3 chassis. 25.3 is factory frame rail, 3,200 pounds, I believe it is. Good for mid-6s in the quarter. This car needed just like a couple more gussets or something like that. But I built that thing like a brick shit house, I guess you could say. for this no prep stuff. And the way I built it, I did some of the chassis kind of like they do some of the NASCAR chassis, where they have like crash bars, I guess you could call them, just in case there's a damage or someone pit maneuvers you. I didn't mean to say it like that because that happens a lot in NASCAR, but yeah, whatever. We'll
there's
just
a
roll
purpose for the, like,
there's a purpose,
you know,
the way
it's
I
a
did the
different type
chassis
of
and stuff
racing,
like
but
that.
there's a purpose for it.
And then like the rear frame rails and stuff like that, generally you'd go and use like 1-inch tubing for the gussets. I went all the way up to 1.5 inch tubing for the whole rear half of the car. A, for the weight bias that we put back there. B, for the wing that we put back there. C, for extra structural strength back there. The car's a drag car, right? But we no prep racing. We street back.
We drive it on the street, everything.
So I overbuilt the hell out of the damn thing, as far as like the rear structure of the car and like the main parts of it. And the 1933 frame, I went and I sleeved that with 1 5/8 083 chromoly tubing all the way up into the frame rails and all the way up into the mid plate and stuff like that. So and then it's all boxed and gusseted in along the frame rails and stuff like that. So it went for quite a ride, and I guess Thanksgiving's tomorrow, so I guess I could go and say a couple things that we're thankful for. Hey, yeah. I guess I could say I'm thankful that this might sound wrong. I'm thankful that it was dark out when we had this incident on Saturday night. Probably better that people didn't see everything as bad as it was and didn't see it. Unlike the accident at Edgewater, it was middle of the day and everyone at the starting line got to see everything. And I'm fortunate this car didn't light up on fire. And I'm also fortunate, I have pretty severe stomach issues. I have Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, and I'm also very thankful that my intestines didn't rip open when I went for that tumble. They're pretty delicate right now, so that could have been bad. But I guess I'm sorry that you had to see that for the second time. And luckily my family and stuff like that wasn't there, but of course they saw the videos and all that, and that's
you see the car sitting in the trailer or in the garage afterwards, and you don't know exactly what had happened, but you see the damage done and you know it's not good. So, but I mean, I was at the starting line, and
you could see on Limpy's life feed, she was kicking ass. She was almost the first one to the car.
As soon as, like, I mean, I don't know how far down Limpy was standing while he was on the live feed, but as soon as, like, the impact happened, I started running. And if you look carefully, you see me running, and, like, 2 seconds, 3 seconds later, everybody else is running behind me. I was hauling butt down there. But
luckily, that thing didn't catch on fire, because
that would have been bad, yeah. Bad.
That would have been absolutely detrimental. There would be nothing salvageable off of the car, just like the 30. There was almost nothing. There wasn't much. We reused some stuff off the 30, but since then we've replaced just about everything.
Yeah. That
was on the 30, just in time, just replacing all the parts that we use short term and stuff like that. And the 33 was starting to like make some moves. Like it made some of the fastest passes at these no prep events, and car was smooth, and like the 3-shock setup that I built for the front of the car, and the anti-roll bar on the front of the car, and the way I did the rear suspension, like the car was smooth. Like I built my whole rear suspension for that car, and we got like 25 build videos that need to get put out on the original build of the 33, but
it'll be a good winter project.
But,
oh my god.
Yeah, maybe. But like as you can see, like we're pretty busy folks.
It's just the two of us really that do this. We've got a
before the accident. Yeah, before the accident, the two of us had like the workload of like 6 people. Now we got like the workload of 20 people for the next couple weeks.
We've got a good group of friends that can step in and help us here and there, but they've got lives of their own and things that they're doing, and all, you know.
And you can't expect anyone else to put in as much effort or sacrifice into your individual dreams. Like, it's just not realistic, right? Like, I firmly believe in the next, I don't want to put a time limit on it, but eventually Where you going?
I gotta blow my nose. Just keep
Okay,
going.
go blow your nose, babe. You're excused. Where you at, babe? Well, I firmly believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll be some of the best at this game. We're getting close to being pretty damn, like, having a pretty good hot rod. And, especially for being what it is, you know what I mean? It's not a Mustang, it's not an F-body, it's not an S10. With cars, we got not challenges, we got a lot of adversities with this car that, like, we gotta tune this car and do a lot of things different on this car. Not in a bad way, but you don't get to be like, hey man, what tire pressure are you running? Or
Yeah, it's
hey
not
buddy,
it's
like,
not straightforward.
it's a completely different chassis tuning and power management game with this type of car.
Some people will run their tire pressure at 8, and we're running them at like
Way higher than that.
18 or something. I don't know, like some completely off random.
And like,
but it works. Like
it works.
whatever. Like I don't know. The car. We brought it out early this year, and like
on the 13th pass, we won 118 60 foot. This was on a no prep deal. We went 118 60 foot, and we went a 511 or 514, something like that, at only 130 miles an hour. And we've legit been 30 miles an hour faster than that to the 8th on a no prep since then. So, yeah, the car had wicked potential. And it was like, we almost never lit the tire off on that thing, never
really got out of shape, never.
It was smooth, like the car worked very well. Yep. And there was a couple times, like at Berkeley Springs, we made a couple of hell of a passes there. Like, we possibly made the fastest pass on that surface that surface has ever seen. And we were like, yeah, probably. And I think we arguably made a faster pass there than Eddie Grimes' S10. And that car lit the world on fire, like last year, 2 years ago, or whatever, before he sold it. But like I knew the tune-up that I put in it was like hot, but we're starting to test. You know, the car's only been together 5 months, so we're starting to
Your program, no matter what it is, has to evolve. And
yeah, it's got to evolve.
That's like, what you have to keep pushing forward so that you can keep getting better.
And the thing is, like, even if like the pass before that was probably one of the fastest passes of the night, and the pass after that, we picked it up 0.2 of a second in the 8th, which is like a crap ton. That's over 2 car lengths. That's a lot. And I told Maddy, I missed my goal on the second last pass down at Berkeley Springs by a couple hundredths of a second. I said, you know what? We're skipping this and we're picking this car up. You know, we're jumping the next 10th of to the 330. I said, we're putting this thing right into, I'm not going to say the number, but we're skipping. We're
skipping and going right to the next goal.
We're going right to the next goal. I said, I think it'll take it. And like, I think it'll be like, I think it's going to do it. And sure enough, we picked it up 0.13 to the 330, which is half track. And the first 330 feet of the track is where your whole ET is. Generally speaking, this car back half's like very, very well. But I guess let's skip a little bit to the night of the accident. Want to? Sure.
Yeah, because there's so many things that have happened in between then. We've had.
But yeah, let's skip to that. Okay, so we raced Crossville. That was supposed to be $250,000 to win deal, and we went out there not overly confident, but I felt we could go out there with a top 10, top 15 car, and see where the cards fall. Well, first round, he got us. Like, we made a good pass, like a very good pass.
Like, if you just look at the pass that the car made,
it was
we were happy with it. It did what we wanted it to do.
It ran good, like really good, and it wasn't a fluke. It did exactly what I wanted it to do, and he got us by just a smidge. So then we jumped in the second chance race, and for one reason or another, the car stumbled, and the car went 0.2 slow to the 60 foot, And I got on the scramble button, and that thing was running one of Buster's cars down. Like, it was running pretty good. And I was doing about, it was a mile an hour, pretty good out the back. And the car hit like a little bit of a bump out there, a little bit of like a whoop-de-doo, right at the finish line. And I sent the rod out the oil pan. I was like, crap, like, we can't take another one of these hits like that. So we go, Tracy Holtzclaw and them offered us their shop for the week. And we ran around like maniacs trying to find a crankshaft and this and that and all the parts to get a motor back together. Luckily, I had some spare pistons and some rods in the trailer. And we got the car back together. Literally, it was a cluster. Like, trying to find parts and everything like that. And even some of these big engine shops wouldn't sell us a balancer or a flywheel because they're like, oh, they're for our customer. And with all this COVID stuff going on, I can't guarantee my customer that we could get these parts again. So, like, literally, we started the car up Friday night. The race started Saturday morning. This is going into
last weekend.
Yeah. At Darlington, Palmetto No Prep, and we got the car started up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and right around 7 o'clock at night, and it was a 3-hour ride to Darlington, and they locked the gates at 10 o'clock. Well, we get there at 10:10, and thank you, Matt Rice and DNR Auto and the Street Racing Channel guys. We didn't have time to stop for food, and like
we had been working all day, so we didn't really
we worked
have a
all
chance
week,
to
like
eat.
not stop, and we didn't eat all day. I said, guys, I made a Facebook post. I said, guys, is there anyone that like we could pay like $20 to or something like that and get like some hot dogs or some hamburgers or something like that? And our buddy Matt was like, hey, stop by. And Tommy Hoskinson was like, hey, if you want to stop by the pit, he said, Matt made some hot dogs and hamburgers. And so me and Maddy had some hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. And Rex had something that he shouldn't have ate because like Saturday morning comes around and
Rex is sick.
Rex is sick.
Like,
that was a $750 vet bill.
His
like,
breathing,
God damn.
yeah, his breathing wasn't right. Rex is our dog, but
Sexy Rex, he's over here sleeping.
His breathing wasn't right. His heart rate was like just beating out of his chest.
His back legs are shaking, and his stomach was like harder than a rock. So I don't know if he ate something or like something happened or like I don't know. Maybe the friggin' ride there, like we were rolling. Maybe he's a little bit nauseous and tried to eat some grass and got some like I don't know. Maybe
ate something that wasn't grass. Like,
yeah, but I don't freaking know.
But so I called our vet and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. I said, but the problem is we're out of town. Like, we're 12 hours away from home.
We live in our truck. Like,
yeah. Like, our vehicle that we haul the trailer with, it's
our house.
Everything that, like, Nick sold his house, his physical, like, home, and we live as much as we can on the road in this truck. So I told the vet what was going on, and the vet was like...
Right now we're at our buddy's house where the garage is because he lets us use his garage up here in New York, and we came back up here for the holidays. But
the vet was like, in a nice way, she's like, I would recommend that you see a veterinarian down in South Carolina before you come home on Monday.
So I was like, okay, Maddy.
I was like, okay, that's a nice way to not freak somebody out and say, like, get your butt to the vet now.
So I said, Maddy, like, first round is in, like, 15 minutes here. I said, help me out in first round.
Yeah.
I said, if the car makes a pass that it should make first pass, we have a damn good chance to win this whole event. And, like, not to say it this way, but, like, I won't need you here kind of thing. So, we draw trips and we run the Street Racing Channel S10. Bill popped. The old man was driving it. And I just put my normal tune-up in it. I said, Maddy, like, if this car gets down, we should make one of the fastest events, like, fastest passes this event has ever had. It's our first time on this surface.
It's a terrible surface.
It was a bad surface. I heard some rumors about supposedly the fastest pass that was on that surface. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to try to beat it by a 10th. I said, if we could go out here, we've had a hell week. If we lose first round, like, if he gets us, so be it. Like, we've had a hell week. Like, it's been just, like, working nonstop for, like, since we knocked the rods out of it in Crossville. And,
Rod.
One.
One.
Yeah, one. We think it was a piston failure. But, yeah. So I said, A, we're gonna come out here and we're gonna put the pressure on everyone and make one hell of a pass and like
set the tone
for the event. We were halfway through or our pair was halfway through first round. I said, I firmly believe that like we could go out here and we can make one of the fastest passes that the surface has ever seen on 28. And if we do that, we'll just put the pressure on everyone else, and I'll chip away at it. And instead of trying to pick it up a tenth every round, I'll try to pick it up a half a tenth every round or something like that, because we'll already be a couple steps ahead of everyone else just by like going for it first round. But the car works very well. So we're out on bill a couple cars, and crank trigger loosened up.
The car shut off.
The car shut off. It shut off at 3.46 seconds, and it still went, to my knowledge, it went 0.2 faster to half track, which is like low fours, right? To half track. So like, you're accelerating, so like, it wasn't gonna be an 8-second pass. It should have been like a 570, 580 pass, on that surface, and that's getting it. Well, it starts off at 3.46, and the front end just drops, and I was like sitting there. I was like, there's no freaking way. We're like 150 feet away from the finish line, and like, he ain't here yet. Like, what the hell happened to him? And then all of a sudden, phew, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? All this work, we were literally getting ready to like lay down. Like, if a car goes 30 feet, like, I was like, okay, we went like 30 feet. We made it to the 60 foot. We're about to lay down one of the fastest passes of like this place has ever seen. And yep, he came around us and got us. And it's like, like, talk about a kick in the feel goods. Like,
yeah,
that was just, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So I don't know if you guys have seen the street racing video. We were in the same position as those guys. We didn't know it at the time, but like, we were in the same position as those guys going into the street deal. And I was like, I want to make sure this car is working so we could come back to New York for the holidays to spend with our family, and we could leave the car down south, the truck and the trailer and like our house and everything like that, house on wheels, down south, and have confidence that we could come back up here for Black Friday at US 60 and the Kentucky Cash Days deal.
The next day,
on Saturday, of like after Black Friday on Saturday, we could have confidence that we got a hot rod. And so we go out there. I told Maddy, I said, I'm gonna put a tune-up in this thing that's just gonna go like not super fast to the 8th or to the 60 foot, not overly fast to the 330, and like it'll walk out the back, but it's gonna be like just nice and smooth, just to make sure that like we have no issues. And if we win the race, like, don't get me wrong, I think we got like enough in the car that we'll be able to put a car or a car and a half on the back. We should have them by 15 miles an hour or so out the back. And that's enough to make up a pretty good amount of real estate. Well, unfortunately, I don't know, we were probably about 400 foot out or something like that. He came into my lane and absolutely drilled me. And I could just think, it's like, holy crap, we just lost another car. And I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah, I went for a ride. But luckily that car was built like a brick shit house. And
so we're gonna post a video after this that does like a little walk around of the car, but like all four center of the wheels broke.
Mm-hmm.
And like
my crash bars, a couple of crash bars took some damage.
Yeah. But
they're literally just crash bars. So like I put them there just in case if the car whacked a wall or someone came into us or like something happened like that, that they'd take the brunt of the force. And the way I built them, I didn't build them on like straight, right? Like they have bends in them, so that like if you hit a bend, if you hit something straight, right, it's gonna fold. But if you hit something that like curved, right, like curved like this, it might like flatten out or something like that. And this stress point here and this stress point here doesn't get all the stress like it normally would if it was a straight bar. So, and like it gives it that cushion there. So fortunately enough, from the looks of it and from the measuring and stuff like that, I'll go over and I'll show you how besides just measuring everything up, how I went through to make sure everything is like where it should be.
On par, yeah.
On par. And like when I build the chassis and stuff like that, I put scribe marks. I'll use like a straight edge or whatever, and scribe the top of the bar, right? So like they're concaved, and like when you scribe it, there's gonna be a line right at the apex of the bend, right at the top of the bend, and you'll see that apex there, and like it's literally a perfectly straight line the whole way down. Well, I went and used another straight edge that was a little bit had some grease on it, right? Some like grease, dirt, grime type shit, right? And I rolled it along the frame rails, and literally it's perfectly in line with the lines that were in it originally. The whole rails, they're like 6 to 8 feet long or something like that, and literally runs that apex perfectly, like perfectly. So like if a bar gets bent, right? Like if a bar gets bent or anything like that, it's gonna roll or tweak or something, right? Or even if it goes up and down, it's impossible for that thing to bend perfectly, like perfectly, right? Then I went up and strung it with a string and stuff like that, and measured it, right? Measured the corner. So if you got a square, right? This and this and this line and this line, if they measure the same, you got a square. If not, you got a freaking rhombus, right? Rhombus?
Or a rectangle, or like it's not square.
It's
you
not.
Could have a lot of different things, but it's just not square.
Well, actually, a rectangle is a square, ain't it?
But
a square is not a rectangle, but a rectangle is a square.
Right.
Did you skip like geometry?
No.
Okay. I just joking. So, but yeah. So I strung it all up and like it all lined up, right? So like, well, you know that it's still square and it's still what's it called? And the body took a freaking beating. So we need a 33 to 35, early 35 Dodge, Plymouth, possibly a Chevy, possibly a Ford, 4-door sedan, or ideally a panel. I'd love to do a panel. We can't do two-door sedans because the wheelbase is too short. This car has a long wheelbase on it, and it's crucial to have a longer wheelbase racing with a drop axle car, just because the amount of unsprung weight that's on the front of the car. The longer wheelbase allows me to change the velocities a whole lot easier. That extra, whatever it is, 10-inch wheelbase is it's huge as far as I don't know. I'm not going to get into much detail, but into the way the car works. And the older than like, or newer than 35, late 35 and newer, the cars just get too big. Like 40s and 50s cars are just freaking huge. They're just massive. And A, we can't fit them in the trailer, and B, like, we can't go the speeds. Like, we'll go 160 miles an hour to the 8th. That's getting it. And especially on a 28 and on a no prep, like, we can't have a car that big. Older than 33, the cars are too square. Like, they're just too square, and the front fenders are too high, so they catch a lot of air. That's basically universal for all of them. You'll see if you go and look through like the evolution of cars, like all of them, right? Fords, Dodges, Dodge Brothers, Plymouth, whatever, so on and so forth. Starting at 32, the front fenders, like the ground's here, the fender's like up here like this. Now you get into 33 and the fender comes all the way down. It's just about universal with all of them. And 33, like 30s and stuff like that, they're wide. You get into 33s and stuff like that, they get a little bit narrower and a little bit like laid back, a little bit sleeker looking. And the windshields and stuff like that. The 30 was like literally straight up like this. The 33 is on like a 10-degree layback, 8-degree layback. So like it makes it a whole lot silky smooth, just like a fresh shaved woman.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I think the camera's about to end.
Okay, so there's that.
We can stop it and redo it, like start another video, and I can put them together.
Okay. You want to do that?
I guess.
Action. You go on.
I don't know. Okay, so Nick talked for quite a while. But I'm just gonna merge the two together. They're not even gonna realize.
Okay, well.
Just keep talking as normal. So, okay, so you said that you need a 33 to a early 35 truck, panel, or a truck, a panel, or a four-door sedan.
I prefer a four-door sedan or a panel.
Okay.
A truck, we can make work, but I prefer a four-door sedan, like a four-door Plymouth, a four-door Dodge, possibly a four-door Chevy, four-door Ford, or a panel. I posted some pictures if you want to go back on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook page, Hustlin' Horsepower. You could see some of the pictures I posted, my wanted ads.
What else do you need? We're looking for rear wheels.
Bomb Track Fab has offered to beadlock a set of wheels if we could find a used set of wheels, guys. We can't afford new. Like a new set of wheels is like
2 heavy hits. This year was a struggle. Parts wise.
3. We're gonna whack 2 parts of the motors, not completely, but like whack them hard. But they gotta be like a 15 by 13 or a 15 by 14 double beadlock. If not, Bomb Track Fab has offered to add beadlocks to them, but we're on a pinch right here. We still have our buddy Corey Brandon's wheels in the trailer that we could use if we need to. We're trying to get this car together in like 10 days. When I say this car, I mean a car that we don't have right now. So
Digger Die's coming up. And
I know I'm crazy, and I know like when I put my mind to something, I tend to make shit happen. So
it's determination.
Yeah, running out of faith.
And the ability to like get up and work that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. So
we're not afraid to work.
Yeah.
At all.
Unfortunately. My goal was to take a break this week.
And because last week was supposed to be the break. And then the motor broke. The rod came out the oil pan. So
we were supposed to go find like
then it was supposed to be this week.
Yeah, we were supposed to go find a cabin or something like that to go relax in for a couple days. So it's been like hell the last couple months, but oh well. Delayed. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed again. That's right. This is one of our last events for the year. December 3rd, and then not again until like end of February. But if we don't make this one, we're just like hanging it up until February. We'll go to PRI. But besides that, like.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you. I need to use your login.
Skip that.
I know.
Okay. So we need rear wheels, 5 by 4 3/4 inch bolt pattern, 15 by 14 5-inch backspace is ideal.
Front wheels.
A little bit of variance is okay. Front wheels need to be a 15-inch wheel. I have spare tires because we changed the front tires to change ride height on the car. So I have some tires. I have a new set of rear tires that I recently bought. The ones that were on the car looked like they had 6 passes on them, 4 to 6 passes on them, and the fronts had like 10. So that was like, that was another what?
Parts. Come on.
Then we need some 28 to 48 Ford spindles. I could buy them new, but honestly, like the chassis engineering ones, not chassis engineering, like the chassis shop, chassis engineering, that used to build spindles 28 to 48. If anyone has any of those, greatly appreciated. Front wheels 15-inch, Chevy or Ford bolt pattern 5-lug wheels. Viking Performance, I got a hold of them Monday morning, and they started making me 5 new shocks for the car. I got a hold of Whack Customs. He's built me a new drop axle. Somehow the rear end survived. Like, you spin the yoke and it just turns. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me, like, blows my freaking mind. But I braced the hell out of that damn thing. And the way I did the bracing and stuff like that, like, it's hard to bend it, but, like, still, I don't know how the hell it didn't bend.
Not impossible, but...
It's not impossible, but, like, it's not a normal rear end. It's back braced and front braced and bottom braced and top braced. And
overly built, like you said before.
Yeah. So, Yeah.
Are there any other parts, really, that you can think of?
Everything else we got to just order new.
Yeah.
We got probably about a... Should we throw out the number? It's probably about $8,000 to $10,000 in parts that we got to come up with. And then a body on top of that. And the body's probably going to be $5,000 or close to it. $2,500 to $5,000 for a body for this thing.
Yep.
So it's probably going to be close to probably somewhere around a $15,000 hit.
Plus
literally
fixing like that bar.
Well, yeah, plus a couple $100 of man hours. But
no, well,
my
you got
time
like
is
the
free.
tubing and stuff like that. There's still
Yeah, I spent. Well, I include that in the parts.
Oh.
I spent $500 on tubing today.
Yeah.
Only for like the front bars and the lighter bar setup and stuff like that. And it doesn't even clean the friggin' rod or the heim joints and the rod ends that are freaking $15 a piece, and there's a whole $20 a piece.
Yep. So, I guess we're gonna close this video out.
We'll just post this raw, and we'll post the next one in the morning.
If that's what you want to do.
We'll just post this raw, and then tomorrow's video in the morning. We'll post it up in the morning.
Tomorrow's video will be a little walk around of like the damage of the car and like Nick talking over, I guess, kind of what had happened, showing you guys the aftermath of all of it.
Mm-hmm. We're day 2 until this rebuild now.
Yeah.
And
if you guys have any used parts that we're in need of, just send us a message on Facebook or the Facebook page, Hustlin' Horsepower. If you want to send us an email, it's hustlinhorsepower@yahoo.com. And
there's no G in it. Hustlin, HUSTLIN, horsepower.com.
At yahoo.com.
Yeah, at Yahoo.
Oh, we do have the website though that has merchandise.
Yeah,
available for sale.
Screw it, life's short, sell it all, go racing. But the problem is, once you sell it all,
and you go racing and have an accident, yeah. Now what?
Now what? So, we're gonna close this video, right? I was on the way home. I was thinking, because I think a lot. My brain doesn't shut off. And I was like, you know what? What do you do when you put all your eggs in one basket, right? And then the basket gets taken away from you. You find out who put those eggs. You find out who put those eggs in the basket in the first place. So let's get after it. I'm gonna go back in the garage. Huge shout out to Don Foss for letting us use his garage up here in New York at his house. Gave us a nice place to warm place to do this video. Unfortunately, there's not real heat in the garage. We just run a torpedo out there, so it's a little bit chilly. Huge shout out to everyone at Area 51 Motorsports and KC for coming through and selling a whole bunch of merchandise for us. To help pay for the vet bill, and then that was before the accident. That was before we lost the freaking car. So thank you, Tracy, and I don't want to start naming all the names, but we'll add Tracy in there, and also Owen for letting us use his toolbox. I'm sorry, we probably
his area in the shop.
We tied up his whole area in the shop for like the week. Guys, we appreciate it. Who else? Clyde Ledbetter for sourcing us some parts.
All the guys that
Jeremy Blankenship for helping us source some parts and giving us the hookup to Tracy that let us use his shop.
Clay that helped.
Clay Valentine at Valentine's Machine in South Carolina that went through and he literally started machining up and balancing our friggin' crank at 8 o'clock Thursday night or something like that. He got me the crank Friday morning?
Did I pick it up? Oh yeah, he dropped it off Friday morning.
I think I got the crank Friday. I think I got the crank together Friday morning. I threw the whole motor together.
Oh no, he dropped off the balancer Friday. I picked up the crank Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday.
And he dropped off the balancer Friday morning.
Thursday night, we just had a block there, and I literally was there with the Dremel tool, right? Opening up the sleeves, because the one sleeve got whacked when the rod came up and hit it, and it was below the ring travel, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, and then what else?
Thank you to everybody who helped us
load the car and everything like that.
Load the car into the trailer and get it back.
Everyone that was there at the at the spot where we lost the car. Thank you for being there for Maddy and myself. And shout out to Tommy and Matt Rice at the Street Racing Channel for Allison. Thank you guys for being there. Shit, their video, I literally cried last night when I watched their video of the accident and stuff like that. That one sucked. But time to get after it. Pick up the pieces and move forward.
Yep.
So guys, once again, 33 to 35, 4-door sedan or panel. We need it ASAP. We're trying to go racing in like 10 days.
December
8 days.
3rd.
Shit, it's 8 days.
3rd.
December 3rd and 4th. Woo! 8 days. Gotta go.
Thanks, guys.